I started growing houseplants a long time ago, and looking back, I think they were actually helping me grow. These are my houseplants, and I never thought I would be collecting these. It actually started with a small garden I kept in the backyard, and my curiosity into the plants and how they grew has taught me so many spiritual lessons. Lesson number one that I learned with my monsteras, which are these great big plants over here. We have a Monstera Adansonii albo right here, a couple mints and a couple white monsters. But first lesson is grow big or go home, because I love big plants with big foliage. I think they're cool. But the actual spiritual lesson comes from this plant. This was one of the first rare plants I ever bought. I spent about $80 on this plant, which was a lot and still is a lot for me. But what I learned with this plant was I actually gave it too much water and too much love. And I think what I realized from this plant and what it taught me spiritually is that if you give something too much water or too much fertilizer, it actually can create a bad environment for that plant or that person to grow. So I think that's really powerful in our own lives, that this plant was put here to grow exactly how it's supposed to grow. It was created to do its purpose, which is to grow these leaves. And we also have a great purpose in this world and are created to be put here for a specific purpose. So create the right environment and the plant will grow. Create the right environment for yourself and you will grow too. So just love yourself and look for what you really need in your everyday life, and you'll do exactly what you were put here to do. Spiritual lesson two that I've learned comes from this plant, a pothos, and this plant, a Hindu rope. These are two very, very different plants, and this plant puts out leaves like every other day, it seems like, and this one is a slow grower. But I think what this has taught me most is that everyone's growing at their own different speed, and you are exactly where you need to be in this very moment. And it doesn't matter if you're throwing out a new leaf every day or you're throwing out a little inch growing every few weeks or every month or two. What really matters is that you're growing, and both of these plants, once mature, can look just as beautiful as each other for many different reasons, right? Like this one can grow really long and can be trailing all over the place, but this one can too. It just takes some time for it to get there. And so the lesson that I've learned from these plants is basically to do the things in your life that bring you the most enjoyment, and don't worry about how long it takes for you to get there. Just do what you love and enjoy it while you do it. Lesson number three comes from plants like these that are new species that I'm growing. We have an Alocasia venom, we have a Florida Beauty variegated, and we have a Philodendron melanochrysum orange and pink variegation. And the reason I bought these plants is because they're new to me and I get to learn about them. And I think that's one of the best things that we can get from this life is new experiences teaching us new things. I get to see these beautiful plants grow for the first time, and I get to also learn along the way what exactly they need for their environment to be perfect, because they're much different than the monsteras and then the pothos and all of the other species. They need a perfect environment for them to be able to thrive and grow. And I think that what this teaches us is that new things or paths in your life that you take can be exciting. They can allow you to gain new knowledge, and they can show you all of the things that you actually truly do like. So don't be scared. Jump into the new species of plant, jump into the new path of your life, and just pursue it with full determination that you are exactly where you need to be, and watch how beautiful it can be along the way. Lesson number four comes from a plant that's existed since the dinosaurs. This plant is a sago palm, and this plant has really shown me that like slow intentional growth is very important in our everyday lives. And this thing puts out a new leaf or a new set of leaves like once every year-ish. It's definitely not something that you want to buy if you want to see how exciting it is every moment, but this really shows you that like this plant has been around and has existed in so many different environments since it was created. And the slow intentional growth that this plant uses to create these very specific leaves and the very specific structure of this plant has shown to be very effective in staying around and leading to long-term success and survival. So I think that's a beautiful lesson for our lives that we can take from this plant, is to really think intentionally and with purpose whenever you are choosing to do something with your life, and grow something that's going to last a long time and bring long-term success and long-term happiness. And that's the end of the plant lessons today. Thank you for watching. I hope that this has helped you and will help you along the way. Peace.